time, then it's probably better. The recoil is just so easy to control already. That was 4 guys right there, and I just absolutely obliterated them. So hello gamers, in today's video, I'm going to be ranking every single M16 or M4 variant in Phantom Forces. Let's get into it with the M16a4. M16a4 is, I believe, the lowest rank one, except for like, well, there's a couple lower rank ones like the M4 and m4a1, but of the assault rifles, it's the lowest rank. Objectively speaking, it's actually better than the M16a3 in basically every single way, except that it's a burst and it has a delay instead of the M16a3, which is your standard full auto gun that's very, very easy to use. This is a little bit more difficult to use, I would say, but still pretty easy, to be honest. I don't really even use it that much, but man, is it a good gun, man. If you guys remember, it actually used to be the best gun in the entire game because you could actually full auto it. It was still a burst, it was never an automatic gun. However, it had no burst delay at all. So yeah, personally, I would give this gun probably an 8.5 out of 10. Not the best gun in the entire game anymore, but yeah, it's still really, really good. Then you have the M16a3. Now, the M16a3 does a little bit less damage, it's a bit worse at range and stuff, but basically, if you run 223 on this gun, it has very, very little recoil, it's automatic, and it's very, very easy to use. Genuinely, I would say that this is probably the easiest gun to use in the entire game. It has a 40 round mag, it's very accurate, it has fast velocity, it reloads fast, it's just so easy to use, and that's why it's so popular, is because you can go off with it regardless of who you are, how you play, anything like that. I would probably give this gun maybe an 8 out of 10, or I guess an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like it has its upsides over the M16a4. M16a4, like I said, is objectively better, except for the fact it's a burst, and since it's a burst, it's a little bit more difficult to use, and the M16a4 just can't run auto. It does 6-hit kill at range with 223 Remington, which makes it kind of annoying to use at range, but overall, you can get a 40 round mag on the M16a4, but it's not recommended because you do lose like your 2-hit head, your 3-hit kill, and you get a 6-hit kill at range, and your only advantage is a bigger magazine, which doesn't really matter on a burst in my opinion, because bursts have like the best ammo conservation out of any gun, except for I guess semi-auto gun. Then we have M231. I need a different setup. This is basically a sawed-off M16a3 kind of. Fires extremely fast. It's actually an FPW, which stands for firing port weapon. I actually did a little bit of research on this. It's designed to be fired from the ports of like an M1 Abrams tank or just vehicles in general, and that's why it doesn't have a stock, and that's also why it fires very, very fast. It's a 3 to 4 hit kill. It's actually the fastest firing 4-hit kill limb gun all ranges in the entire game. However, you guys know the drill and has a lot of recoil. This is a very, very well-known gun. I'd say popular as well, but mostly just well-known. People use it in basically every single close range map lobby, and even at long range, it can be kind of effective. And OEG is actually helpful. I do recommend OEG. I've seen a lot of hate for the OEG, but the OEG is not bad. I use it on the HK51B and the M231, which I don't really use either of them that much, but it basically just shows you where you're supposed to be shooting, or where you actually are shooting, I guess, because you can just kind of get kills at range. Objectively speaking, this is a very broken gun. But next up, we have the C7A2. M231 is a 9.5 out of 10, by the way. The only downside is, of course, the recoil, and the performance at range is kind of annoying, even though it is a 4-hit kill all ranges. Velocity is not too good, and the recoil is the highest in the game. But then we have the C7A2. Now, the C7A2, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. In my opinion, it needs a nerf. I'm using 7.62, but here's the thing. Default ammo is so broken. It's a laser beam. It has incredible damage ranges, incredible velocity, very fast reload. 7.62 is good. It can 2-hit kill head to like 100 studs. In fact, they couldn't even add 25-45 to this gun. They had to add it as 20 tact conversion, which actually doesn't change any of your stats other than reload time and magazine capacity. 223 is useful on it, AP is useful on it, 7.62 is good, 45 conversion is good, 20 tact conversion is good. You can make it a PDW, a battle rifle. It's a 10 out of 10 because not only is it broken, it's also just, you can make it a PDW, you can make it a cross map gun, you can make it a battle rifle, you can make it all three. It doesn't even matter. Consistently well-performing gun. Like, it does every single role well. I don't know how it can do that. But yeah, 10 out of 10 for that one. There are a few carbine variants of this gun. First off, the m4a1. M4a1 is a slightly slower firing, lower recoil variant of the M16a3 with better CQC performance. This is very, very good with 25-45, and in my opinion, it's not quite as good as the M16a3 or M16a4. It has worse pen, worse ranges, very good, especially with full stock, and 25-45. Basically just like a 20 round CQC gun, very fast reload, very, very fun to use. It's just one of the most consistent guns in the entire game. The M16 guns are just consistent and very good at everything. The problem with that is that some of them are so consistently good at everything that they're just kind of overpowered. The M4A1 is going to get an 8 out of 10. Very, very good gun, just not quite as good as M16A3 and A4 in my opinion. And then you have the M4. Now the M4, this is another one where it's like objectively better than the M4A1. It does fire faster and do a little bit more damage than the M16A4 and A3. However, However, the M16A4, other than the fact that it has like a worse 3-hit kill range and stuff, is kind of just an objective upgrade. But this is still very, very good. Basically better than the M4A1, but like in my opinion, M16A4 just does you better. This does have a very, very good headshot multi of 1.57 times when you run 25-45. Let's be real, 25-45 is kind of broken. I don't know why they added it. It's cool to have it, but 20 tact would probably have been better because even 20 tact is okay. Definitely worth using in some scenarios because faster reload and stuff, but having better ranges, velocity, and everything like that is just kind of broken. It's very, very good on some of these guns. M16A4 is better than this, but this is not a bad option. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10 as well. But our next gun is the Honey Badger, which is technically an M16 type variant. This gun default is probably another 8 out of 10. It fires pretty fast and it has better damage at range than some of the other guns. It's integrally suppressed as well, and it does have a long barrel and a full stock, which is very nice. And yeah, with the Oscar loadout, yes, it's very, very good. I don't know, I guess I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. It feels kind of weird putting it above the M4A1 because I feel like the M4A1, I don't know, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Overall, probably the best integrally suppressed gun. Performs well at range, has pretty good velocity for an integrally suppressed gun. Does decent damage, 33 to 22, not amazing damage, but for LMGs, we have the Colt Lmg. Colt Lmg is overall probably the best rank 0 gun. It kind of just has everything, like good ranges, good 3-hit kill range, pretty good multis, pretty good pen, pretty good RPM, very large magazine, and fast reload for that magazine. And if you're on 223, it's very controllable. Although with 223, it's a 4 to a 6 shot, unless you hit torsos, and then it's still a 3 to a 5 shot, which is nice. So if you have good aim but want lower recoil, then 223 is really good. But if you want a 3-hit kill all of the time, then it's probably better, oh my gosh, to not be using 223. But overall, just performs well, nothing to complain about. Honestly, I might give this gun a 9 out of 10. It's mad slept on. I feel like it's just better than M16A3 and A4, although you could probably disagree with that. I guess I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10 as well. 9 out of 10 feels like a little bit too much. Everything about 7.62 on the C7, or 45 on the C7, or 223, or armor piercing, or default, all of those ammo types are actually some of the best of its type. And the fact that it's all on one gun is just kind of ridiculous. That's why it's so crazy. It's like, it has everything for it, you know? But yeah, Colt Lmg, obviously, it's a good gun. Now, I did forget that the ECR is basically an M16, so I will be using the ECR, except I'll run a setup that somebody actually let me know about, which is very cool. Basically, my biggest problem with the gun is that I can't run muffler and actually see my sight. However, if you run Mars, then you can actually see, and Mars is actually like objectively one of the best, if not the best sight in the entire game, because it actually affects your gun's recoil and hipfire stability and recovery speed. So it's actually like, objectively speaking, since it also has like no downsides other than the fact that it kind of looks ugly in my opinion, objectively it's very good. But the ECR, now this is a 10-round gun that does incredible damage. 5.56 is getting a nerf, so I won't really talk about that. 5.56 is basically like an M4A1 upgrade at the moment, but in the future it's just going to be kind of so I won't be really talking about it. But basically, this gun does 52 damage, but fires as fast as the M4A1 at 780 RPM, which I run muffler, which is only 702 RPM. Muffler lowers recoil, lowers RPM, so it makes it less mag dumpy, and it's very good. Like, I think I might actually start running this gun again because of this guy's Mars setup, which is so cool. Thank you to the guy who let me know about this. It can 2-hit kill limb to like 85 studs and 2-hit kill torso to like 100 studs. It drops off pretty hard at range, but it's basically a 10-round 2-shot gun at very, very high RPM. AK-47 hollow point is definitely better, but this is still worth using because it can 2-hit kill farther, does better damage at range, fires faster, but obviously has a 10-round mag and more recoil. So AK-47 hollow point is overall better in my opinion, but this is a good gun. I'm gonna give this gun an 8 out of 10 as well. But then we have the TCR. Now the TCR can 1-hit kill head to over 100 studs and has this RPM, which is very, very nice, right? I feel like this is an 8.5 out of 10 for DMRs. As normal guns go, it's probably like a 7.5 out of 10 because DMRs tend to not do really well in the climate of Phantom Forces, but this is a 2-hit kill anywhere on the body and 2-hit kill torso at any range. It can 1-hit kill head, which makes it kind of a better MSG90. Other than the bad velocity of 1800 studs a second and also like the kind of high recoil, this gun is just crazy. Like, if you're good at tap firing, probably one of my favorite DMRs just because it's so good. When you just like shoot a couple of times, you kill a guy, reload, shoot a couple of times, just be accurate and you're good. If you have good accuracy and you can hit headshots, this is probably going to outperform most sniper rifles, except like an intervention in point blank. It also does 92 damage torso to like a pretty far range of like 60 studs or something. So if somebody's been damaged at all, you can actually one-tap torso, which is kind of ridiculous considering like it does fire very fast. It has like Deagle RPM. Like, look at that. High recoil, but tons of damage and pretty high RPM and pretty fast reload time. So overall, PCR is like super, super slept on. We also do have a PW, which is the Colt Smg 633. I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10 now because personally, I feel like this is the best PW in the entire game. It can 3-hit kill to 55 studs, has pretty good damage ranges, a full stock and a long barrel, 1000 RPM, very, very fast reload time, good reserve ammo, good magazine capacity, and pretty nice recoil overall. Like, people say it has a lot of recoil, and yes, it does, but pull down like slightly, man, and it's very, very accurate. It is kind of a learning curve to use it because like that is a lot of recoil. However, this is it when I control it. It is not bad. Like, that is not bad recoil. It's not a laser beam or anything, but for CQC, when it has this reload time, this much RPM, and can 3-hit kill to 55 studs, which is farther than like the Vector and stuff, basically makes it the best fast firing SMG. Farther 3-hit kill than like the MP5. Like, the MP5 has like 200 less RPM, smaller mag, slower reload time, same min hits to kill. Like, I don't know. Oh, dude, why am I getting so many collats today? Ridiculously fast time to kill, can almost 2-hit kill head. Can't do that though, but it would be very, very broken if it could. It's already a broken SMG. I could easily see this getting a nerf. I wish they didn't have like a full stock and stuff on it. I'd say give it like a maybe 30 stud 3-hit kill range or something. But like worse recoil, I don't know, man. Like, the recoil is just so easy to control already. I was 4 guys right there and I just absolutely obliterated them. Overall 10 out of 10, you guys can already tell. It's my main go-to PDW if I want to just do well. I believe that is it. I don't feel like I've had this in my video ideas for a long time, so I'm glad I finally got to record it. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and sub, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.